By the time he was 8 years old, he had lost 5 siblings. At 9, he was left for dead, only to awaken from a coma paralyzed, but in a hopeless state of body and mind. Bradley Quick is here to share with you his path from Skid Row junkie to successful talk show host, author, mentor, and motivational speaker. If you're looking for a better tomorrow, if you want a positive evolution, or if you're in need of a quick fix, you're in the right place. Now kick back and get ready for the top experts in the field of body, mind, and soul. Here on the Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Quick Fix here on Cool Change Radio, your home for positive answers and the place for you to find that life and health solution you've been looking for. We're right here right now to inform you as to the latest life enhancement techniques in many different areas, including health, fitness, nutrition, psychology, finance, weight loss, and a whole variety of other wonderful and life-empowering topics. Today's show is brought to you by the Cool Change Foundation. If you're fond of our show, if we brought you some breakthrough solutions, or you just want to help us stay on the air, please donate today. Come on, think about it. When we make life better for mom and dad, we make life better for the children. When we make life better for the children, we make life better for the whole entire family. Everybody wins. It's a win-win deal, and it's 100% tax deductible. No donation is too small. You can donate right now at www.thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. And remember, it's time for a cool change with the Cool Change Foundation. Welcome, everyone. My name is Bradley Quick. I'm here as always to discuss solutions with you. I'm here to talk about having a better life experience and becoming the best you that you can be. Our guest today is Dr. Sheila Shilati. She's a licensed clinical psychologist, lecturer, consultant, and media personality. Currently, she serves as the Chief Operating Officer of Seasons Malibu, a world-class addiction treatment center in Malibu, California. Hey, doctor, you ready for a great show?
Oh, I'm ready, Bradley.
Okay, you sit tight. We'll be right with you. Thank you all for joining us on Cool Change Radio, BradleyQuick.com, and on Facebook. As you know, you can catch our live and record video shows and interviews on those sites and many other websites. And as always, you can listen to our archived audio interviews, hundreds of them. Your favorite topics, favorite experts, and favorite personalities at BradleyQuick.com. Now, if you're not hanging out on CoolChangeRadio.com, BradleyQuick.com is definitely the place to be. And if you find yourself on YouTube looking for something to do, you can always go to Cool Change Radio on YouTube. We've been up there about 9 or 10 weeks now. We got already 400,000 views. Bing, we are grateful. We are grateful. All right, later, my buddy, former Mr. Universe Paul Medrano will be here with us talking about fitness and healthy living in our Getting Fit with Mr. Universe segment. It's all going to happen shortly, so stay right where you are. Now, make a note. If you'd like to chime in with a question for my guest today, pick up that phone and dial 824-9123. That's 818-824-9123, 818-824-9123. All right, working the field of addiction for over a decade, my guest has helped develop various innovative programs addressing the needs of those struggling with addiction and mental health. Joining us now on the Quick Fix here on the Cool Change Radio and TV Network is licensed clinical psychologist, lecturer, consultant, and media personality, and the Chief Executive Officer of Seasons Malibu, Dr. Sheila Shilati. Sheila, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Bradley. It's glad to be here.
It's so good to have you here. It's been so long we've been talking about this, right?
I know, trying to get it together, but luckily the universe has come together.
Yeah, and thank you for sponsoring the show. That's really, really awesome.
Well, appreciate it.
So what, tell us, give us the history of addiction treatment.
Well, I mean, essentially, if you look at conventional treatment versus the history of addiction treatment, I mean, addiction is something that we have read in the literature for thousands of years in terms of various interventions, but obviously it hasn't really become institutionalized or commercialized until, just probably in the last 40 to 50 decades when we're really kind of seeing the surgence of, managed healthcare imparting, their oversight, if you will.
Was it the insurance companies that made it a disease, or was it actually the medical community that made it a disease?
I think that's a debate that constantly...
That's why I asked. I'm asking the expert here. I've got my opinion.
Well, depending on where you're getting your news from or your literature, if you will, I would say, I think the medical community as it stands as a consensus treats it as a disease model for care, and managed healthcare certainly provide stipulations for how we address that various ailments as it relates to addiction, to be able to formulate a plan to address it. So in essence, again, depending on your audience, people have different views of what it really is and how it's been translated into various forms via neurobiology and what have you. I mean, certainly the evidence is there that there are genetic precursors, and without question, the research supports family histories, longstanding family histories of addiction and how that translates. But it goes. You have to get much more granular when you really look into it and you break it down into the overall systemic kind of.
Because
way.
those people that are not afflicted say, just stop, just
Oh
say
yeah,
no.
it's a choice. Oh yeah, no problem. It's a choice. And therein lies, I think, a lot of the kind of I shouldn't say confrontation, but the opposition you get from a lot of people that really, who've gone through recovery and through addiction, and I think it's a compulsion, it's an impulse, it's something that becomes conditioned as a way, and again, I'm using very simplified examples here, but that individuals get conditioned in how they function and how they act and how they deal, and it's not something that someone wakes up one morning and goes, oh well, I'm going to snort a line of cocaine a day and join that addiction train. It comes as a kind of a component of a number of things.
They talk about crossing that fine line.
Oh,
And
sure.
once you cross that fine line, there's no coming back. Once you've been turned into a pickle, you can't be a cucumber again.
Coming back to our normative functioning, whatever that is in this society. Have we measured a baseline for society yet on what's normative?
No, we haven't. And what's normative has changed in the last 100 years.
All the time.
Definitely, because like we're we spend the most on diets, yet we're the fattest country in America. What is normal? Twinkies, are they normal?
Depends on your perspective and what you've been exposed to. Listen,
This we could go on with this the whole segment. Yeah, but let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this thing. Seasons in Malibu is an incredible place.
Thank you.
It's magical.
Thank
you.
you.
I know you, and I know the staff, and I know the premises. I've been going there for a long time and visiting. I guess I'll be speaking there at the end of July.
You will. We are going to be having you there. Bradley Quick at Seasons Malibu at the end of July.
I'm excited.
Putting on a big workshop for us. We're very excited.
I'm excited about that. But how did you create this place to be so different?
I think that one of the things I've come to learn about leadership and running various programs is that the most successful programs I have seen and been exposed to, and I think in corporate environments I've been in, has been the ability to have a real collective leadership style. It's I think the type of feel that you get from a lot of places where it's run by a corporation and unilateral decisions are being made, and they're only being made for the benefit.
The bottom line,
well, of course, naturally, and I have found that just puts a bad taste in people's mouth, and they don't feel motivated and inspired. And for us, we at minimum meet twice a week as a treatment team, which most places can't even find the time to do, and we really look at it as a collective leadership style. I don't find that my decision, although I do have final say if necessary.
I will veto this and veto that. Don't you dare.
I got to have some, vetoing power. But I think all in all, I really trust the staff and their collective kind of expertise, if you will, and how we present itself and projects out into the greater environment is completely, I think, the difference there for us.
Now, you have what type of modalities are you running in Seasons Malibu? What type of services are you providing?
Boy, it's kind of, Dr. Stahlhuth, who's our clinical director, he always makes the analogy of a buffet, in terms of modalities. You kind of go up, you try everything, you see what kind of works for you, what fits. Because in this day and age, you can't just standardize care in a way that is one size fits all. It's not comprehensive. You're losing sight of the individuality each person has. So for us, we really offer modalities that go above and beyond just the individual and the group treatment and the family care. That for us, obviously the family care, within 24 hours, your family, we really try to encourage that involvement because it's a collective system. Again, we're talking about the collective. We're talking about addiction not happening in a vacuum. So, somebody may be more inclined towards a spiritual form of intervention, and they may be more adept towards something of that nature. So we do have practitioners that
How do you
practice
get
that.
to the egos?
How do you get to the egos?
Through the egos.
Through the.
Tell
It's
you,
a buy-in.
I'm telling
It's
you,
a buy-in,
I'm
Bradley.
telling you, people that show up at Seasons Malibu. I know when I showed up at a treatment center, it certainly wasn't Seasons. I had a big ego.
Oh, sure.
Tell me about the ego,
Sure.
breaking down the ego.
Well, listen, it's part what we do, and it's part the motivation of the person with the ego. I mean, that's it. You know, I think that we have a no tolerance policy as it relates to providing good treatment. You know, you either want it or you don't. We're not invested in how much money you can offer us. You know, and you're spending a lot of money for the care that you're getting. So if your ego is getting in your way of your ability to surrender, then maybe it's just not your time.
I love that answer. I love that answer.
You know, and that's okay. And that's okay. I mean, I don't take it personal when people aren't ready, and I certainly don't take it as an indication of how, treatment is or isn't effective. I mean, there's just some people just aren't ready.
I did a in-house rehabilitation center back in 1987, and I was there for 24 days, and now I'm 25 years sober. As a result, I got it, but a lot of people don't get it in 30 days.
Oh, well,
and
no.
when we come back, I want to talk about why people don't get it in 30 days, and I want to talk about the opportunity they have at Seasons Malibu.
Definitely.
This is great. I'm excited about it. Are you guys excited about this? This is fun. This is fun. Stay put, everybody. Have you got a habit you want to change? How would you like to do things differently to better your life experience? Well, we just might have some insight for you, so stay right where you are. Remember, Dr. Sheila Shilati, a licensed clinical psychologist, lecturer, counselor, and media personality. She's also the chief operating officer of Seasons Malibu, a world-class addiction treatment center in Malibu, California. This is the Quick Fix on Cool Change Radio. We're broadcasting live from Freddie Siegel Studios. I'm Bradley Quick, and yes, we'll be right back.
Today, experience the Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change. Written by Bradley Quick, author, producer, motivational speaker, and host of the award-winning radio talk show, The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick on CoolChangeRadio.com. Bradley's passion for life is evident in his book, written so you can experience health, find your purpose, and have more effective relationships. Beating insurmountable odds, overcoming death, and being paralyzed, Bradley fought his way back so he could help you conquer your struggles. Experience increased health, vitality, passion, and purpose in your life right now with The Quick Fix, and read about Bradley's courage, ambition, and determination to live. Whether the issue is your thoughts, your physical body, or you just want to feel better and be happy, The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change, will change your life. For only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Take positive action now and receive a free guided meditation CD with your order. That's a $20 value free with your order today. Go to BradleyQuick.com. That's BradleyQuick.com. Take control and begin feeling better now. Get the book and free CD now at BradleyQuick.com.
You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
This has never been attempted before by any treatment center, ever. Seasons Malibu is willing to take the risk because they understand quality care and evidence-based long-term recovery. Pay for only 3 months of treatment and stay until you are better, period. I'll say that one more time. Pay for only 3 months of treatment and stay until you are better. Enough is enough. Seasons Malibu wants to count your days of recovery, not the dollars in your pocket. No gimmicks, no guarantees, just straightforward world-class treatment until you are better. Do not hesitate. Call now. Seasons Malibu, 866-780-8539, 866-780-8539. That's Seasons Malibu at www.seasonsmalibu.com or 866-780-8539, 866-780-8539. For a free consultation and details, 866-780-8539. All righty, welcome back. You listen to The Quick Fix here on Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement and a place for positive change. I'm Bradley Quick, and we're right here, right now to help you gain the upper hand in becoming all that you want to be. This segment is brought to you by my buddies at GapZip.com, GAPZIP.com. They ask, how do you think? They say, how you think is more important than what you think. It's one of the chief reasons why many of you get stuck when you try to enter your next step in your career or personal relationships. I'm joined by these guys all the time, and you can join them too and learn a new way to think. Go to GapZip.com, GAPZIP.com, sign up and participate with them on a weekly basis. GapZip.com, GAPZIP.com. All right, For those who's just joining us on Cool Change Radio, Facebook, or BradleyQuick.com, welcome. You can listen to this show again at hundreds of hours of other self-discovery content anytime you want by simply going to BradleyQuick.com. Then you can also sign up for our weekly radio show email reminder, where once a week you'll receive the most recent interviews in the comfort of your own home or office, and you can listen at your convenience and make sure not to miss your favorite authors, experts, or personalities. You can also podcast any of our shows or just listen to us anytime from anywhere at BradleyQuick.com. That's BradleyQuick.com. All right, our guest today is Dr. Sheila Shilati, the Chief Operating Officer of Seasons Malibu, a world-class addiction treatment center. She even served as an international ambassador on various international relief missions, overseas working for survivors of disasters, sexual abuse, trauma, addiction, and HIV/AIDS. Man, she's really been busy. Doctor, welcome back.
Thank you very much, Bradley.
And thank you for being here. This is awesome.
Yes, it is.
Okay, tell me about, we heard your ad, running by 3 months. You can stay until you're better, okay? You obviously believe in long-term foundation, building a long-term foundation. So tell me why 30 days doesn't work when it doesn't.
Well, the research alone. Let's start there. I mean, there's a reason why 90 days tends to be the magic number. It's because automatically the research supports that your rate of long-term success and recovery tends to go up exponentially as a result of just a longer-term sobriety. And if you just look at it from a biophysiological standpoint, I mean, your brain is trying to readapt to a reorganized way of thinking and processing and behaviors, and I think that we have a real kind of misguidance for a lot of the consumers that don't recognize the importance and the value of being offered consistent long-term treatment, and managed healthcare gets in the way of that as well. But
it's all about building a foundation, isn't it?
It is a foundation, but I think in 30 days you can start a foundation. I think you can definitely have some building blocks and some support and some skills and some tools. And I think there's a lot of successful cases of individuals that have managed to maintain long sobriety as a result. But if you want to talk about the reality and the numbers and the rates of success that do increase as a result of 90 or more days of that structured support and care in that environment, like I said, it's almost double, if not triple.
We talked a little bit about, and I think that's really cool. You really getting them in there, building them a foundation, and getting them to walk the way they're being taught to think. Mm-hmm. Because once you can do that, once you can intercede the walk and the talk, then it all makes much more sense.
Well, yeah, and at the same time, it's like a lot of people count down the days, and they're like, I've only got a week left. I've only got 4 days left. I've only got, and then so what does that mean? What does your life look like?
They get to be thrown back out into the lions after
you're
that
out of
time.
your little love bubble of rehabilitation, and in your, I think that's a lot of the kind of deficits in our current system is the way we're working the care here, is that you're either limited by insurance, because insurance is only going to give you so many days, and you're feeling incapacitated as a result, but you still require more care.
Right.
Or, you're limited financially because you've spent however many thousands of dollars in so many other treatment centers, and now you're down to your last dollar, and this is it, and you can only afford 30 days. And there's just so many limitations. And, when we were really sitting down and thinking about it, we wanted to continue to offer that quality of care, but not make it based solely in this kind of speed up and recover model, we wanted people to feel completely comfortable and safe, and we feel confident that, if they're able to manage that within 90 days, they can definitely, continue to have and not freak out about when they're leaving.
Right.
They have some real opportunity to make some real lasting changes.
Right, if they're not always anticipating each day going by and just know it's inevitable that it will happen one day, but it doesn't have to happen right now.
Well, it's like the freeze, the fight or flight, the freeze response, right? So on some level in recovery, those in recovery tend to experience one of the three in one way or another. And it's seen time and time again when we see our clients that leave, although as much as they have adapted back into their real lives, there's still a lot of kind of moments of triggers and panic and self-containment that they're not feeling is completely manageable in their real life, in their real environment.
Now, I talked about ego getting in the way of successful treatment, and that's one of the things. But there's many things that get in the way. In your experience of running this top-notch, over-the-top Seasons Malibu Recovery Center in Malibu, California, and having dealt with a lot of people going through treatment, what do you see the biggest obstacles for people?
I think, we talked about the ego, the real kind of acceptance of the kind of the daily deficits, how
Right.
bad my life has really become, the reality checks, if you will. I think the second one is I think when you don't get the family support or the support system to really look at their own behavior.
That is so important because the families supports the addict, right?
Well, there's enabling, absolutely.
Yeah.
There are a lot of families like to keep the addict sick.
Because then they can continue playing their role,
Of
however
course.
demented that may be.
Well, and a lot of times when you see the addict actually get healthy, the family system completely breaks down and has no idea how to operate, when they can't keep that individual sick anymore.
There's the Arise intervention system that goes and deals nothing but with the family.
Right.
And then if the addict wants to participate, then they get to do that. But it's not that it doesn't focus on them; it focuses on the family.
Right, and that's really where we kind of also in terms of our philosophy and the way that we're approaching treatment is to the extent that the client is open to it, we are heavily involved in incorporating the family into the treatment.
Is that one of the main things that is really evidence-based? Evidence-based,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at evidence-based treatment as a whole, the modalities we use are certainly available, and we use, in most traditional treatment models do, individuals, groups, education, psychoeducation, medication management, and such. But I think where in those 30 days, a lot of treatment centers maybe get a bit hesitant is that they don't feel as though they can do a lot of prevalent work with the family during that time, and we tend to believe the opposite. I mean, for us, it's the sooner we get them in, the sooner we get them educated.
Now, do you have groups for the family? Do you
Absolutely.
have sessions with the family?
Absolutely.
You have a family home evening type
Absolutely.
thing?
No, I mean, it's funny. I've actually personally have even given my cell phone number to a lot of family members
Really?
that they just, a lot of times it's the accessibility as well. I think our staff is one of the most accessible at any time of day. I've had family members call me on a multitude of occasions, luckily mostly of them being grateful and thankful, and some when they get in those areas of panic and what do I do next and how do I manage this, and that's what it is. It's a family education process, and where people tend to fail when they come out of that is when the family is unwilling, again, to take their responsibility and how they've perpetuated their kind of the system, if you will.
So, do most clients or consumers get the idea that 28 to 30 days is really enough?
Absolutely, of course.
It's
a revolving door.
The Sheila. Wasn't it Sheila?
Come in, come out, come in, come out. Give me your money. Let's go. I mean, it's come on. I think the hardest part about that consumer who's reading about all of these Malibu rehabs and whatnot is that they really don't know the difference between what's good treatment, what's great treatment, what's the real value. At the end of the line, I think that therein lies a real education for them. And that's why we are pushing and saying, listen, we are promoting 90 days. This is how we are looking at it. We are not interested in no pun intended, quick fix as it relates to.
Oh, wait a second, I've heard that
I want the
before.
quick fix, but I want Bradley quick fix. But I think it's really about understanding what does this entail and involve. And I get it. When you're panicked and your child needs to get into rehab because they've overdosed, you're not thinking about how I can educate myself.
What it takes is discipline, and if you can learn a discipline in 28 or 30 days, so be it.
Yeah.
But if that discipline can become part of your daily life in 90 days,
absolutely,
let's do it.
Well, 90 days or more. I mean, we want to make your recovery life a part of your day-to-day environment. It's the same thing with eating. You're changing your eating habits. And maybe you could keep it up for a week and you're really committed, but after a week, you kind of start slipping.
The subconscious takes over.
Oh, yeah.
When you try to... it's good to go with the conscious mind for a little bit, but then the subconscious mind always takes over and takes you back to your homeostasis.
Absolutely.
What you know.
Well, right.
So if you have a long-term recovery process that you get to participate in, like Seasons Malibu, then you get to change that homeostasis over time.
Well, that's it. And then you get the family that gets to change it with you. And then you get to
that's beautiful.
practice that. And then you get to do the behavioral
Can
management.
I sign up for this
You're
program?
in. Yeah, you're in. I know, right? We're expanding.
This is great. Her name's Dr. Sheila Shilati. She's a Psych D. You can check them out at Malibu Seasons Recovery Centers in Malibu, California. Their number down there is 424-234-2060. 424-234-2060. Their website is www.seasonsmalibu.com. Seasonsmalibu.com. There's so much more to talk about.
So much more.
So much more, and we're going to get to that in just a minute. I just am really so honored that you're here.
Thank you.
This is such a great thing.
Privilege.
It's such an important topic for people to get today, isn't it?
It is, and it's kind of, listen, I'm a no BS kind of person, and I'm not here to sell you on how great and fancy it is, which it is fancy.
But
hang on a
second. We're going to come right back to this, okay? This segment has been brought to you by my buddies at GapZip.com. They say thoughts are things. Thoughts lead to actions, which lead to results. So if you're sick and tired of your results, take a look at your thinking. Join them every second and fourth Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Just sign up at GapZip.com, GAPZIP.com. This is Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement and a place to reshape your vision of what's possible. I'm Bradley Quicken. Hey, we'll be right back.
There are self-help seminars costing thousands of dollars guaranteeing miraculous transformations. There are compelling speakers and life-changing weekend experiences where you can walk on fire. They all deliver revelations that guarantee you'll come back for the more expensive revelations filled with even greater wonder next month on Fiji. We get addicted to positive, heartfelt, expensive theater. What we really need is a jumpstart, an awakening, someone who can give us a reminder that everything we need lies within. Through inspiration and practical knowledge, Dorothy Donahue helps people get grounded and motivated, inspired and energized. It's not just words and affirmations and the power of intention. It's a mindset brought about by a tangible, transcendental experience, an audio-visual, physical, spiritual experience that helps us realize we transform ourselves. We get tools to become the conscious co-creators of lives of unlimited potential. Find out more. Go to DorothyDonahue.com. You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
I'm Melody Beattie, author of Codependent No More. 7 times more Americans have hepatitis C than AIDS. I'm one of them. If you're one of the millions of Americans with hepatitis C and your doctors are treating you with interferon, then you're clearly aware of how your life has been turned horribly upside down. Backed by huge pharmaceutical monies, the medical community swears there's only one dangerous, disabling way to battle this silent killer. It's not true. There are alternatives, and they work. Triumph Over Hepatitis C is a book written by best-selling author Lloyd Wright, who fully recovered from this frightening disease. Lloyd is helping others to take charge of their lives and fight for their body's freedom from this crippling illness. His program is working for me. Call the people at Hepatitis C Free now at 866-HEP-C-FREE. That's 866-HEP-C-FREE. Don't become another medical statistic. Find out the truth about hepatitis C and get your life back.
Get your copy of Triumph Over Hepatitis C at Barnes & Noble and at hepatitiscfree.com. Call 866-HEP-C-FREE.
All righty, welcome back. You're listening to Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement and a place to find your passion and purpose. I'm Bradley Quicken, right here, right now, to provide you with alternative solutions to the issues in your life. I'm going to share with you a great thing. I just got back from Teotihuacan, Mexico. That's the home of the Toltec Pyramids. We get to stay at my buddy Lee McCormick's place. It's called the Dreaming House. It's a big compound at the base of the pyramids. You walk about a quarter mile of the pyramids every day. You go through the 5 portals of your life, utilizing the energy of the pyramids. It's awesome. It's awesome. It'll change your lives. It's changed mine. You get to step out of the social matrix into the spiritual matrix. You don't want to miss this. They go down there about 4 or 5 times a year. We're going back this October. So sign up now at www.spiritrecovery.com. That's spiritrecovery.com. Click on the Journeys link. spiritrecovery.com. Click on the Journeys link and join us on the pyramids, okay? You don't want to miss this. It's really a great experience. Everybody should do it at least once. All right. My guest is interested in speaking to the limitations of a 30-day treatment model, the necessity for greater education, the literature which supports successful models for care, and the trend in working towards extended care methodologies that can offer participants structured solutions towards increased recovery. Joining us once again is Dr. Sheila Shilati, the Chief Operating Officer of Seasons Malibu, a world-class addiction treatment center. Sheila, welcome back.
Thank you very much, Bradley.
So good to have you. You having fun so far?
Oh, I'm having a great time.
I love it. You should be here every day.
All righty.
Now, I understand you're currently working on your first book.
I am. One of the... I used to work, and I still do quite a bit with adolescents in recovery. I think, again, talking about family models for care and how parents just feel such a great deal of loss and require so much direction as it relates to how to manage early symptoms of addiction. And oftentimes that they tend to pass it off as just behavioral issues. They're not looking at the real underlying pieces, and oftentimes it's too late by the time
I deal with a woman that's got a program here named Susan Blauner. It's called Saving Lives. It's a children's. It's about carrying the message to children before they get to that point.
Yeah.
Could I hook you guys?
Absolutely. Oh no, are you kidding me? It's important for us to share information and be educated and know what access these families have to resources.
So back to your book. What's the title of the book?
Well, I haven't quite finished the title yet. Right now, I'm just finishing up on a couple different chapters as it relates to addressing it with the families and such. So I'm just finishing those out, and I have a couple different working titles, but you'll be the first to know once it comes out.
I'm so excited about that because it's so important, isn't it?
It's again, you're talking about education. You know, families feel incredibly lost, and these kids, listen, your children are going to get exposed to drugs, period.
Right.
All right, wake up. You know, this is going to happen. So how do you manage it?
What's the best way to get to a child, though?
Well, for me, I've developed programs with various counties. For me, it's been a lot of recreation-based programs. I did a surfing program with the County of Orange, their juvenile drug system there. That was very successful. It was a therapeutic surfing and rock climbing program. And I think for them, they don't work well in inside-oriented therapy. Sitting in a room with a kid and try to explain to them, you know, what insights do you have in terms of your recovery? They're like, dude, like my Facebook. And so I think it's just a lot about how to manage and address them in ways that's behaviorally focused and allows the parents to also get educated how to set the limits. And it's really about giving them tools that's not so granular and so clinical and so, you know, that parents feel so wrong and bad for doing things they've done. It's really about for them to help understand how this can be beneficial by doing these things. Not you're a bad parent because you didn't set limits on your kids early on and you weren't taught limits. And I mean, I think we perpetuate a kind of punishment system for parents not knowing what to do. And that's not fair to do that. So no one wants to feel as though they've done a poor job of raising a child.
Everybody's doing the best they can with what they've got. And most of us were raised in the same box, in the same social matrix box.
Well, particularly now, look at our models for good citizens. You know, exactly. Think about that for a minute. If you've got cable, it's a very sad state of affairs. So
why is 90 days the magic number?
Well, I think it's, again, we're going back to the physiological, the behavior-oriented, the change in the daily management. I think that, in essence, our body physiologically, once you've removed the particular stimulants as it relates to the drug use, your neurons and the kind of neurochemicals that were operating before are no longer operating in the same way. So that physiological adjustment alone can take anywhere, I mean, as little as 3 days all the way up until 6, 9, a whole year, in terms it reorients itself to be able to kind of
if someone's been using opiates as well, it gets into the bone marrow, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a whole nother...
Yeah, there's so many physiological and physical disorders as it relates to the drug use itself, not to mention mental disorders. So a lot of times we have to get the chicken and the egg. You know, was I depressed before I started using drugs, or did I use drugs and then I became depressed? And I think arguments can be made for both.
Are you a big advocate of mind elevators? Mood elevators?
Mood elevators or mood stabilizers? Yeah. You know, I think that on one level, I think in our traditional clinical education, if you will, you know, you do what you do in terms of educating the clients as to here are the benefits that we've been reported as a result. Have I seen some amazing results as the use of psychotropic meds?
My question was based on it's only probably 2% of the people that are prescribed really need them.
I don't know if it's that low, but it's pretty. I would imagine it's fairly lower number. Because once you get somebody outside of their addictive behavior or outside of the drug, oftentimes you see the real baseline functioning, and then you see the family system, and you're like, oh, it all kind of makes sense now. I think it goes beyond just, again, well, these are the symptoms you're presenting, and then of course my favorite, which is the second they get a label, it is like people are just holding on to that label sometimes as though it's, and without a doubt there are people that are truly suffering from clinical disorders like bipolar and schizophrenia and major depression, but I think oftentimes too it becomes a kind of self-promoting, well, I have this, so then
you hit right on the head a lot, something that's really important. People want to hang on to their story, don't they?
Well, I don't know if it's their story or if it's the necessity and the fear of actually perceiving themselves as healthy, because when you've only seen yourself a certain way for so long and that's all you've got to hold on to, it's difficult to imagine yourself functioning as what you feel is a normative and healthy day-to-day interaction with people where you don't require the use of drugs or alcohol or your medication.
The reason I asked that question is I had some trauma in my life as a child, and every time within the first 10 seconds of you meeting me for years, as when I was a kid, that was what I talked about. That was the story. That was me. That made me.
Right.
Because I didn't have an identity.
Right.
Aside from that.
Right.
And so I hear that in a lot of the rooms that I participate in and in the groups I participate in, people want to hang on to their story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all about letting go of the story.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's letting go or just or having, again, that kind of holistic perspective of how that story contributes to your sense of self and your sense of self-empowerment. You've taken that and you've used it as a tool to create a bigger and better and brighter life, and you offered a model for people to be able to find hope. I mean, we're talking about the installation of hope, right? We go through trauma. We want something to be hopeful about, to dream about, to think about. And so often or not, people have no idea what that would even look like because they've been exposed to a life that has been blinded them without that opportunity or possibility. So ultimately, it's the installation of hope and what we desire in terms of our motivation that creates the life that we want.
So what does Seasons Malibu offer that's really innovative?
Well, I think the innovative part is, again, those two components. It's the integration of the family, and it's the opportunity to stay 90 or more days. And we really want the treatment to be comprehensive and complete. And it's really based on an individualized care plan.
Now let's set up the landscape here for a second, okay? Because most of these people have not seen this. They're looking at you and looking at me. They're not seeing. Tell me about this place right on PCH across from Zuma Beach.
Well, the best place to start is certainly seasonsmalibu.com. That will definitely give you some perspective. We've actually got a couple different locations, but the one you came on is directly across from the beach. So when you're on the bluff there, the rooms are set up so as that you can just overlook the ocean. And it's kind of like this... you feel like you've been transported to Hawaii almost, with the palm trees and the pool and just the lush kind of greens. It's 3.5 acres. And there's a lot. We have 2 different houses on that site alone, and all the kind of bells and whistles. You got
all the bells and
whistles. Listen, let's be honest here. If you're coming out to Malibu for treatment, you're getting the bells and whistles. All right. But I think the great part is we also offer treatment to people that typically can't afford the high rates of out-of-pocket expenses, but yet
they have scholarships.
Well, we've offered partial scholarships. We've offered full scholarships. I've also had cases where people's insurance has run out, but they've had such a great experience and they add so much to the community. I invite them to come back and participate in certain groups, and we do have an alumni group. We have an alumni meeting on Wednesday nights, and then people who have like pretty decent insurance. We've taken all insurance clients, so we try to make it accessible.
You've got some people that really make it accessible, right? It's
Absolutely. We do whatever we can to make it accessible. And again, I mean, there are some people that require the single room and they don't want to share.
Will you do me a favor? Will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Mr. Universe is going to come walking in here in just a moment.
Right.
I want you to help me kick him out of here.
Okay, I could do that. I could do that with Mr.
I'm going to keep you through the fourth segment, okay?
See what I can do with Mr. Universe.
Oh, no, I won't even touch that one. This is great. Her name is Dr. Sheila, and she's seasonsmalibu.com, seasonsmalibu.com. She's going to stay with us in the fourth segment. Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you, Bradley.
This is wonderful. Stay put, everybody. You're in the right place. Cool Change Radio would like to welcome all our new talk show hosts. We got a bunch of them. Stay in touch with Cool Change Radio. Stay in touch with Cool Change Radio and find out who they are, what time they're on, and et cetera, all right? We're coming back with more Dr. Sheila from Seasons Malibu. That's seasonsmalibu.com. This is the place where you can buy 90 days, 3 months, and you can stay until you're cured. Stay until you're okay. It's definitely the place to be. This is Cool Change Radio. I'm Bradley Quick. We'll be right back. Get quality goods for less from Bag City, serving all of Reno, Denver, Las Vegas, Bakersfield, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, and many more cities. Up to 70% below retail on everything. Coin purses, wallets, organizers, purses, briefcases, backpacks, traveling garment bags, and ladies' and men's leather jackets. All discounted, all up to 70% below retail. Bag City, the best for less? Bag City serving all of Reno, Denver, Las Vegas, Bakersfield, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, and many more cities. Contact Bag City at 818-990-1795. That's Bag City, quality goods for less money. Bag City, where 15% of all sales go to local charities. You can't beat that. You help local charities while getting quality goods at up to 70% below retail. Contact Bag City now at 818-990-1795. Contact Bag City today and get quality goods for less money. That's 818-990-1795. Shop Bag City to save. Shop Bag City for charity. Bag City, 818-990-1795.
You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
Today, experience The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change. Written by Bradley Quick, author, producer, motivational speaker, and host of the award-winning radio talk show, The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick on CoolChangeRadio.com. Bradley's passion for life is evident in his book, written so you can experience health, find your purpose, and have more effective relationships. Beating insurmountable odds, overcoming death, and being paralyzed, Bradley fought his way back so he could help you conquer your struggles. Experience increased health, vitality, passion, and purpose in your life right now with The Quick Fix, and read about Bradley's courage, ambition, and determination to live. Whether the issue is your thoughts, your physical body, or you just want to feel better and be happy, The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change, will change your life. For only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Take positive action now and receive a free guided meditation CD with your order. That's a $20 value free with your order today. Go to BradleyQuick.com. That's BradleyQuick.com. Take control and begin feeling better now. Get the book and free CD now at BradleyQuick.com.
All righty, welcome back. Thank you all for joining us on Cool Change Radio, Facebook, and BradleyQuick.com. As you know, you can catch our live and video recorded shows on Cool Change Radio and over 700 hours of my best audio interviews, your favorite topics and personalities at BradleyQuick.com. This is Cool Change Radio. As you well know, we're broadcasting live from Freddie Siegel Studios. We're your home for self-improvement and a place for positive life enhancement. I want you to know we're being supported in large part by one of my favorite charities, the Cool Change Foundation. The foundation was created to help families and all the children in those families. They do that by providing positive transformational life enhancement methods and techniques to those children's caretakers, usually moms and dads, so they may overcome negative habits and become better role models and providers for the kids. As a direct result, the children's home and family life becomes more nurturing and loving. It does every time. It's wonderful. You can help the Cool Change Foundation help the mom, dads, and kids in your community, and you can do that right now. Simply send your donation of love and support directly to the foundation at www.thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. Once there, simply click on the Support Us link at the top of the page. You'll be helping us help the children. Again, that's thecoolchangefoundation.org. Click on the Support Us link at the top of the page. Every penny counts. No donation's ever too small. And the children need your help. From all of us here at Cool Change Radio, we thank you for your support. All right, joining us once again is Dr. Sheila herself, Chief Operating Officer of Seasons Recovery Centers in Malibu, California. Check them out at seasonsmalibu.com. That's seasonsmalibu.com. Hey, Doctor, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
So good to have you. How can treatment be more dynamic?
How can it be more dynamic? Well, I think there just needs to be some truth and honesty in treatment and some real kind of accountability, which is, the reality is not everybody's going to make it. I think we need to start moving towards less gimmicks and being more real about the realities of addiction. People die. People are not going to make it. People are going to relapse.
I'm convinced, though, relapse is not working a program. Relapse is not working because a program doesn't call for drinking, using it, doing it again. It just doesn't call for that.
Right.
And all that applies to the discipline.
Yeah.
Which is disciplining yourself, restricting yourself from that immediate gratification mode.
Right.
And the way to jump into that, and I think what is so wonderful about what Seasons is doing, is you've got you buy 90, you get as long as it takes to get it done. You get to build the foundation.
Well, and that's
if you're able to step out of that secure foundation into the community that you become part of, right?
Absolutely.
During this time in this stay, in this wonderful place, then you have the support group and the mechanisms to make it happen. And you're able, it's much easier to apply that discipline, isn't it?
Yeah, Seasons, getting back to innovation, is just finally getting real. We want to go where the research and the evidence takes us, which is 90 or more days will increase your ability to have successful long-term sobriety, period. And that's the model, and that's the innovation that needs to happen. We need to get healthcare on board. We need to get families on board. We need to get these systems already in place that kind of want to promote short-term care and get them to recognize is that we need to make models for care so that the person is coming in once versus coming in 3, 4, 5 times to be exposed to essentially what becomes redundant after a while. 3 months of really good, solid treatment, and you're able to gather and gain everything you need in the family, or more. Stay 4, 5, 6 months.
Sure.
It's the components in what you receive in that is really what we're talking about. Again, we're talking about healthcare and how we're managing it. Oftentimes, if we just offer the right care the first time around, we're not dealing with the same issues and the costs that come with it.
So what is the future of treatment as you see it? I mean, all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. I understand that, but do you see it going in a certain direction?
Well, I don't know if we're going to move towards like a real drastic change in treatment anytime soon, but what I do like, and what, like, for instance, your program offers as well with Cool Change, is that people just have exposure to information. And that's the real, I think, benefit to anybody that is looking at recovery.
Because it's all identification through association.
100%. 100%. What may work for me may not work for you. And that's okay. But at least I have access to something that does.
Right.
And as long as you're dialed in, you talk about discipline. Well, discipline comes from a desire and a motivation. And so if you have that internal desire to connect with something that feels good to you,
right,
then ultimately you're going to find a way to access it. And hopefully in the field of recovery, we are the information sharing that we have available to us is vital. And I think we're going to see a lot more web-based programming and a lot more social media and the influences of that. And I think particularly with the generations coming up and the young generations I particularly have worked with are going to make that more of their avenue of which they feel socially motivated to kind of move forward. So I think that's the real kind of change that's going to start developing as we move forward.
What does the recovery community need to do in order to evolve in this way?
Well, I think that the ones that have, I think you hear the success stories, and you certainly have organizations like, for instance, in 12-Step or any other peer-supported organizations that promote those success stories and how they got there and what does work for them. And I think there needs to be ongoing dialogue by the recovery community as to what has worked and why they feel it has worked. I mean, I've had people that have successfully managed to be in recovery as a result of just opening up to their family and having that family system be supportive. And then the family went and got so educated, they were able to provide it for them. So I think it's just about finding what kind of works, but also understanding your limitations. There are just certain families or support systems that are not going to change. So it's not about changing them as much as it is changing how you function in that system. and how you manage. I think it was, Viktor Frankl's in The Man's Search for Meaning, right? And his whole concept was you cannot change your condition, but you can change the way you perceive your condition.
Right. I was in Seasons Malibu when they were looking for somebody to run their facility. They didn't come to me and ask me for that. They didn't say, Bradley Quick, do you want this stuff? Thank God for that. There's a lot of other people, though, that were extremely qualified for that position.
Right.
How did you end up with it?
I think it was very, I think with me, I definitely, besides the experience I have in the recovery community in the field, I've run various programs, and I actually own and operate an outpatient program as well in Westlake. And part of what I think the owners really kind of saw in me was that dynamic vision and the energy and the expertise and the wherewithal. And they really saw I have a great knowledge around insurance and how to utilize it to help benefit people. So I think for me, it wasn't the years and years of C.O.O. experience that brought me on board. I think it was the vision and the dynamic kind of willingness to impart a collective leadership and provide a system of knowledge that is more based in innovative methods for care versus, what we kind of traditionally see as just a very cookie cutter type of approach.
I didn't hear anything about the bottom line in that.
Their bottom line?
Yeah, I did.
What's
I didn't hear. I was hired to increase the bottom line.
Oh yeah, right. There's how the company needs to keep running. I gotta tell you,
because I know that the venture capital groups,
right?
It came out and bought all the rehabs they could, and lots of money. And let's make the money, and
Oh, naturally, of course, and of course, there's a business aspect to it. But I have found that when we have fun the way we do, it's like somehow the money just comes. I mean, it's not to say like it magically appears, but it really has never been the bottom line for us. And I've had so many instances where the admission director will run in and be like, "Okay, Sheila, here's the deal, and here's what I got going on," and that, and I'll be like, well, okay, how can we help them? How can we make this accessible to them? And I think there's always a way. There's always a way. If somebody has the motivation and determination and
you've heard it. You heard it right here. If you've got the motivation and determination to get clean and sober for yourself or a family member or someone you know and love, and you know that it's going to take something more than 30 days or 60 days, call them up at Seasons Malibu. Call them up right now. Go to seasonsmalibu.com and check it out. Check it out because they've got you buy 3 months and you stay until you feel comfortable.
Until everybody's on board and ready to rock and roll.
It doesn't get any better than that, does it?
No, I don't think it's ever really been done, as far as I know. Maybe it has, but I think as far as people really taking a chance and taking a risk in a facility like Seasons Malibu at the caliber that we're at, it's all competition there. 30 some odd rehabs in a 27-mile radius. I mean,
that's a lot.
Yeah, so I think we're.
But all of them don't follow the proven evidence-based methods, do they?
No, and that's and that's okay. I think it's again too. It's where I was getting back to the point where I feel like the consumer is the one that misses out, because when you've got a child that has just had a overdose, the mom doesn't have time to research what is evidence-based, what works. The mom wants to get their kid somewhere safe, and oftentimes it just depends on who you get on the other line, and that's why I want people to get the message out. You guys, long-term care, long-term treatment. Don't get this idea, this notion, your kid's going to come in 30 days, and all of a sudden we're going to magically make them reappear, as a new person, and everything's going to be great. And that's such a misnomer. We are just very miseducated about the recovery system in that.
Well, I'm sold.
All right.
I'm sold. I'm in. I'm enrolling today.
Bradley Quick, you heard it here. Cool Change Radio. Bradley Quick.
All right. Sheila Shilati is her name. She's a doctor of PsyD and Chief Operating Officer of Seasons Recovery Centers in Malibu, California. Promise me one thing.
Yes, sir.
Promise me you'll come back.
I will come back.
I would like
Count
that.
on it.
This is fantastic. This has been one of the best shows I've had in a long time.
Well, thank you.
And I owe that all to you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks. This is awesome. You've got somebody you love and they need some help. This is the place to be. You got that right. Again, I'd like to give a great big thanks to Fred Siegel and our friends from around the globe for supporting our charity, the Cool Change Foundation. You too can help the foundation help the mom, dads, and kids in your community, and you can do that right now. Simply send your donation of love and support directly to the foundation at thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. I'd like to give a big thanks to our guest, the fabulous Dr. Sheila Shilati. She's talking. It's so good to have her here. She's runs a place called Seasons Malibu. If you need treatment, you need it now, and you want it long term, that's definitely the place to be. Go to seasonsmalibu.com. I also like to thank the people that make this show happen. Our fantastic engineers, Rob Gainey, author of Rockin' Your Stage Sound, available in bookstores now. Our fitness expert, Paul Medrano, will be back with us again tomorrow. And our assistant producers, Taylor Hoskins. He makes everything happen. This show is produced by Bradley Quick Productions. Has been made possible by Fred Siegel, YouTube, Google, Buzzbros, the Salvation Army, Universal Studios, Milestones Ranch Malibu, Marilyn Toth, Carrie White, and many others, including the Cool Change Foundation. Now go get out of yourself and into somebody else. Think about them and not yourself, and I'm sure you'll be better for it, all right? We'll see you tomorrow.